Alright here, today I'm going to make my predictions for the NFL Week 6 games. There's a lot of good ones, and let's get started.
Ryan Priest, and you're watching William Blackwell on YouTube.
Alright here, I'm going to start off by saying that there will not be a Thursday night game played this week. At first, it was supposed to be the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. But after the Kansas City and New England game this past week before last got moved to Monday, the NFL decided to move this Thursday night game back because the Kansas City Chiefs were going to play 3 games in a 9-day span, which is not good for the NFL player body. So the NFL did a good job there by moving it back. But the first game of the weekend is going to be on Sunday during 1 o'clock. You got the Houston Texans traveling and taking on their divisional rivals, the Tennessee Titans. I'm expecting Tennessee to be a little rusty here and there, but I don't think they're going to be too rusty enough where they're going to get beat by Houston. I think Tennessee wins this one. Next, you got the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Indianapolis Colts. The odds makers have Indianapolis by 9.5. I think that's pretty accurate. I think Indianapolis will win this game by a good margin. But next, you got the Atlanta Falcons, who just fired Dan Quinn and GM, taking on the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings are coming off a heartbreaking loss to the Seattle Seahawks this past Sunday night. And I'm sure they're angry and frustrated, and they're going to use a lot of that anger come next Sunday when they're playing the Falcons. It's going to be ugly. I think it's going to be a blowout. Vikings big. But next, you got the Denver Broncos taking on the New England Patriots. This game right here was supposed to be played in week 5, but the NFL decided to move it back a full week because of a positive test. But I still think it's not going to change the outcome, and New England's going to win this game by a lot. Next, got the Washington football team taking on the New York Giants, who are a 3.5-point favorite. 3.5-point favorite for the Giants. I just can't believe that. I don't think New York's going to win this game. I think Washington is just going to show up and play. Depending on who their quarterback is, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Kyle Allen. And if he starts, I expect him to have a big game this Sunday. But next, you got the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles, this is a big game for them. They got to win. It's at home. And this is a true test. If they can beat the Baltimore Ravens, they can pretty much beat anybody in the NFL. But Baltimore's 7.5-point favorite. I just think Baltimore is going to run over Philly this Sunday. It might get ugly. But next, you got the Cleveland Browns taking on their divisional rival, the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are a 4.5-point favorite, and I don't think it's going to be even closer like that. I think it's going to be a blowout. Cleveland hasn't seen a team as good as Pittsburgh this year. Right beside Baltimore. Baltimore's good, but they're not as good as they were last year. Pittsburgh right now is a top 3, 4, 5 team. So I think Pittsburgh's going to come out here at home, especially, and going to blow them out the frame. I'm talking about 3 touchdowns. Next, you got the Chicago Bears and the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers are playing at home, and they're a 2.5-point favorite. I like this, and I'm picking Carolina. Next is your final 1 o'clock game in Week 6. You got the Detroit Lions taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. I expect this game to be somewhat at full capacity. So the Jaguars might come out here with a little bit momentum and hyped up, but I don't think they can be hyped enough because Detroit is looking sort of good. They're usually hit or miss, but I think this weekend they're going to be hit, and they're going to be hitting on all cylinders, offense, defense, and special teams. But next, you got a 4:05 game. You got the New York Jets and the Miami Dolphins. At first, I considered picking New York in this one, but they're just so bad of a team. They might be the worst NFL team of all time. I'm just picking Miami in this one. I think Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to have a big day and get the Dolphins another win. The Dolphins are looking really good this year, surprisingly. But next, you got a 4:25 game. You got the Green Bay Packers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This game right here is going to be something to watch. 2 future Hall of Fame quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, going head-to-head. I expect a high-scoring game, but I think Green Bay, who's a 2-point favorite in this game, will win. I think by a field goal or so. But now you fast forward to Sunday night. You got two NFC West teams going head to head. You got the Los Angeles Rams, who are a 3-point favorite. It was 3.5, now it's 3. Taking on the San Francisco 49ers. I'm picking Los Angeles on the road, and there you go. Now you fast forward it to Monday night. You got the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills, which is my game of the week. It's just in the thumbnail. But I'm picking Buffalo in this game, and it's going to be high scoring. Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, their offenses are clicking like really good, and I expect them to do big things. So if you're doing fantasy, you might want to start Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes if you have them. But last, you got the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Dallas Cowboys. I'm picking Dallas to win this one. It's played at Jerry World, and plus they lost their starting quarterback, so they're going to be a little mad about this here. And they're going to be playing for Dak Prescott. I think they want to win this game by a lot. Arizona has fell off tremendously since the start of the season. You got to remember, when the NFL season started, Arizona was like number 1 and 2 in the power rankings, and Kyler Murray was top in the QBR rankings. They had a big fall off. I wonder what happened there, but I think Dallas is going to blow them out the frame. But there are 4 teams this week who are having bye weeks. You got the Las Vegas Raiders, who are coming off an impressive win against the Kansas City Chiefs in Week 5. And then you got the New Orleans Saints, who are coming off a sort of a up and down game against the Los Angeles Chargers. I was about to say San Diego. But the Chargers, they finally came back and won the game in overtime. Entering the game, I thought New Orleans was going to beat them and run them over, but they played soft, and then eventually they got going after half, and the rest was history. Then the Chargers are off, and the Seahawks are off, and the Seahawks had a big win against Minnesota at home. But there you go. There are my Week 6 predictions. And as of right now, I'm looking pretty good in my predictions here. I am currently, here's a word here, currently 49-24-1 in my picks. This video is being filmed before the Titans and the Bills game, so it's obviously going to change, either to 50 or 25 or possibly 2 ties. I don't know. But everybody, though, remember to please like and subscribe.